Hello, this is your boy Sauce, and today we'll be covering the NBA playoff picture, the Eastern and Western conferences. Uh, I'm not going to mess with the play-in. I'm just going to take the top eight seeds from each conference as it currently stands. So in the East, in the 1-8 matchup, you have the Bucks and the Hawks. Um, I'm going to be talking about every series, assuming unless they're after the season that health is perfect and everybody's available. So in this series, I would see the Bucks winning in five. I think Trey Young and Murray are good enough to win a game at home, but I believe that's it. The Bucks are just so loaded. They've got the best player in the world. They've got two complimentary All Stars, and they're about nine deep. Very talented team. So the Hawks get sent home. The next first round matchup in the East is the 4 and the 5 Cavaliers versus the Knicks. In this series, I like the Cavaliers in six. I think they have the best player on the court in Mitchell. They're very good defensively. They've got Mobley and Allen down low. They've got a ball handler in Garland who also can give you 20, 25 on any given night. They're not the deepest roster in the league by any means, but they've got a lot of star power. And when it comes to the Knicks, uh, you've got Randall, who the Knicks are going to be getting back. Brunson is a good player, but those two guys are not on Mitchell's level. And the same thing with the Cavs. The Knicks are not that deep, so I don't really see where they would have the advantage in this type of a series. Cavs in six could go seven, but I do not see the Knicks winning this series. So the Knicks gets at home. Next up is the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets in the 3-6 matchup. I've got the series either going 4 or 5 games, as long as Embiid wins the MVP and he's mentally all there, and because we all know what happened last year. Uh, the 76ers have the two best players on the court in Embiid and Harden. They're both veterans at this point. Harden's been in the playoffs probably 11 times in his career. It's probably Embiid's fifth trip to the playoffs. So these guys have been here. The Nets have some, talent on their roster, but they don't have any superstars. I mean, Bridges becoming an all-star. I guess you call him a borderline star at this point, but they don't have consistency throughout their roster, and they don't really have a pure point guard that I think that could really change the flow of the game, set the pace up. So I've got the 76ers winning this with the MVP probably in 4 or 5 games, and the Nets get sent home. Next up is the Celtics and the Heat, the 2-7 matchup. It's a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference final that the Celtics took in 7 games. I could see this going 6 games, with the Heat not being able to win on the road. Um, the Celtics are about nine deep, somewhat similar to Milwaukee. They've got the best player on the court in Tatum. I got the third best player on the court in Brown, and then you're still stacked. You got Robert Williams. You're getting Horford back. You got Derek White, Grant Williams. I mean, even Gallinari, if you could somehow crack the rotations coming back. Uh, it would be very hard to beat them. The Heat, they don't shoot the three ball well. They've got a superstar, in my opinion, in Butler. You got an all-star in Adebayo, good player and hero, but the rest of the roster kind of falls apart. Duncan Robinson can shoot the three, but he's not good enough to stay on the court consistently. So I don't know where they're getting their shooting from. I've got the Celtics taking the series 4-2, and the Heat are being sent home. Um, the second round matchup in the Eastern Conference will be the Bucks and the Cavaliers, and I will take the Bucks in 6 games in this series. The Bucks are too loaded. They've got the best player in the world. Like I said before, they have two All Stars. Their bench is way deeper than the Cavs. Honestly, I just think they're a better version of Cleveland. Every facet of the game, they're just going to be able to punish them. So I've got the Bucks either winning the series 4-1, 4-2 in pretty easy fashion. The next matchup is the 76ers and the Celtics. I will take the Celtics in this series in 6 games. While Embiid might be the best player on the court, there's something about him come postseason time where I can't always trust him. And I don't think anyone at this point, and especially at this age, trusts James Harden to really get the job done. Yeah, he might give you 10, 11, 12 assists, but I feel like they need more scoring out of him if they want to make a deep playoff push. And I just don't know if he's got the explosion, whether it's due to like weight, injury, age. He does not have the explosion he used to have. So I could see the Celtics taking this series in 6 games with Tatum really stepping up to the plate. And after that, I guess Philly's gonna have to probably blow it up, whether it's getting rid of Harden or Doc Rivers. Something's gonna have to change if they cannot at least make the conference finals. The next matchup would be the Bucks and the Celtics. This is going to be a very tight series. I like the Bucks in 7 games with the home court. They have the best player in the series once again. I'll repeat myself. He is the best player in the world. Both these rosters are very deep. I just think that the Bucks are so loaded, and they would have won last year if Middleton was available. And the Bucks took them to Game 7 without their second best scorer, arguably their second best player. So if everyone's healthy, I've got the Bucks coming out of the Eastern Conference. Now onto the West. In the first matchup, we've got the Nuggets and the Pelicans. In this series, I will take the Nuggets in 6 games. Scratch that. I will take the Nuggets in 7 games. But I think this series, at the end of the day, could end up going either way, depending on Zion Williamson's health. Are you getting a Zion that's like, I don't think 100% is realistic, but like 90%? Or are you getting a Zion at like 65%? If he comes back and he could be 90% of himself, this could go 7 games, and you never know. The Pelicans might be able to steal this series. You've got McCollum. You've got Alvarado, who's a very pesky defender. Ingram, pure scorer. Length. He doesn't provide that much defensively, but, he's a bucket. And then Zion, when healthy, is the best player on this team. Very efficient. Would be a problem for really anyone on Denver to defend. Jokic and Aaron Gordon are not the best defenders in the world, and he would be a nightmare for them. Now you move on to the Nuggets. You have the 2-time MVP, possibly 3-time MVP in Jokic. Maybe the best offensive player in the game, but defense travels in the playoffs, and I think at best he is a bad defender. But when you look at the roster, it's ball. You got shooters, you got Michael Porter, you've got Jamal Murray, and a bunch of other good pieces. Oh, Aaron Gordon as well. So you've got a bunch of good pieces, but you don't have a secondary star, in my opinion. His Murray is not quite what he used to be, in my opinion, yet. He's still recovering from those injuries, and maybe next year he'll be at 100%, but I don't see it right now. But I will take the Nuggets in 7 games just due to having the MVP on their roster and the home field, because the Nuggets are not a great away team. The next matchup, and a very juicy one at that, you've got the Suns and the Warriors in the 4-5 matchup. I will take the Warriors in 7 games. They are getting Andrew Wiggins back. They don't have any key injuries. You still got Clay, you got Curry, you got Draymond, you've got your core with all the nice young pieces last year. You brought back in Gary Payton II. All you really lost was Otto Porter, and Wiseman wasn't even on your team for the championship run. They have not won many games on the road this year, which is a huge problem. But I think they could steal one in late in the series against Phoenix and take that series in 7. But now, if the Suns won, let's be real, who would be shocked at all? You've got Chris Paul, not what he used to be, but he's a old, like veteran leader, facilitator. You've got Booker, unstoppable scorer, not the highest intangibles in my opinion, but he's going to be hard to stop. He's averaging 28 a game. You've got the best pure scorer in the league in Durant. I'm assuming he's at 100%. He looks like it right now. So, and then you've got Aiden. I mean, like I don't think the Warriors really have an answer for Aiden. It really comes down to, does this guy want to be a beast or does he want to play scared? All year he's been like kind of like playing scared, whether it's him and the coach or for whatever reason. I don't think they're getting the most out of him. But if he can come into his own in a series like this, I think the Suns could take this in 7. But I feel more comfortable, sticking with my pick with the Warriors right now in 7 games. That will be a great series to watch. Next up, you've got the Grizzlies, and the Lakers. This is another very, very close series. I am going to take the Grizzlies in 7 games. I feel like they are very well coached, and you have every piece you need to beat the Lakers in this matchup. You've got Ja Morant. He looks good. Since he came back, he's hungry. He's trying to reprove himself after all the stuff that just went on. You got Desmond Bane, who's a perfect counter to Ja Morant. Can shoot the 3 ball, can put the ball on the ground a little bit. He can score. Dylan Brooks is like your Draymond Green of the team. He's the enforcer. Very stout defensive player. He can also give you 15 points on any given night, even 20 on any given night. It's a guy I'd rather have him on my team than play against him for sure. You got Jaren Jackson Jr. Might be the defensive player of the year. He can also give you 15 to 20 points any given night. And he's hungry, just like their whole team is. A bunch of young guys. They want to win. They want to prove themselves. And you're getting Steven Adams back. A little washed up, but he can still give you 10 boards, 11 boards, every single game. And that's all they need out of him. Especially in this series, if AD's playing soft, I don't know how they're going to contend inside, really. But then again, you never want to discount LeBron. The Lakers have revamped their roster. You've got D'Angelo Russell at the 1. I think Vanderbilt at the 2, or Reeves at the 2. You got LeBron at the 3, AD at the 4, and yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good, and they're a little deeper now. You've got Hachimura off the bench, so you can go 7 or 8 deep with this team. I don't know if with Davis and LeBron you've got the youth of the Grizzlies. I think this is going to be a very tough series. Can LeBron still get it done? I would personally, I would love to see it, but with the Grizzlies with the home court and everything, I could see them taking this series in about 7 games. But just like the first 2 series in the West, it's so close that either team could win this series for sure. Really comes down to how hungry is Anthony Davis. Does he want to be the best player on the court, or does he want to be, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th best player on the court? So we'll see what kind of mindset this guy comes into, but I will take the Grizzlies. The last first round series in the Western Conference is the Kings and the Clippers. Paul George is supposed to be coming back, and if he's 100%, I will take the Clippers in this series in 6 games. I think the Clippers are slightly better than their record looks. They're doing a lot of load management. They're still incorporating Westbrook. I think with the final product, they're good enough to beat the Kings 4-2, even on the road. I still think you have the best player in the series in Kawhi Leonard. He's still a great defender. If he's playing heavy minutes, he can give you 28, 32 points, at any time. Paul George is nothing to slouch at. He's a great wing defender. He can give you 25 points or higher. He could also give you 10, knowing him. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in this series. You got Zubac, who he's kind of like a younger Steven Adams. He likes to battle down low. And also, can Ty Lue really, stay on top of Westbrook in these playoffs and kind of be like, know your role at times. You want to push the ball down the court, but don't be taking bad threes. If they leave you wide open, to keep them honest, maybe shoot it. But the decision making has to be there. And if Westbrook plays, to his ability and uses his head, they could be huge contenders in the Western Conference because he's still explosive. The X factor for the Clippers are Paul George and Westbrook. Now, let's look at the Kings. You've got a very fast, clutch, facilitating point guard in De'Aaron Fox. You don't want to get late in games with this guy because this guy is by no means a slouch, and he can get buckets with almost the best of them. All right. Now, you look at Sabonis. He can rebound. He can do a little bit of everything. You can hit jump shots. He can pass. He's a good team defender. He's kind of like a Jokic. It's not great when you look at how he moves his feet and everything. It's kind of slow. Defense is huge in the playoffs. And Fox is not a great defender. Sabonis is not a great defender. Herter's not a great defender. All these guys can score. They can play offense. I just don't think they have the wings necessary to slow down a Kawhi, a Paul George, a Westbrook, even if he gets it going any given game. Now, you can lose to anybody with Westbrook by his play style, but if Westbrook gets it going, I don't know how the Clippers would lose to the Kings if he plays at a high level. It's just, I don't see it happening. So the Clippers over the Kings 4-2. Next round of the Western Conference playoffs, you got the Nuggets and the Warriors. The Nuggets are going to send, or the Warriors are going to send the Nuggets home again in this year's playoffs. I see that happening in 7 games. And just like the first series, I think, while neither team's great on the road, the Nuggets are better on the road than the Warriors, but I feel like the Nuggets can squeak out a game in Denver and then hold serve in Golden State. So, Warriors in 7. In my opinion, the Warriors are a deeper team. They're a more experienced team. They're a better coach team. They have the best player on the court. They've got championship pedigree. You copy your core 3 still. Like I've said against the Suns, it's like the same Warriors team. You got Wiggins back. The Nuggets, 1 superstar, 3 very good players, and then it's everybody else. I mean, you got Bruce Brown, I don't know if it's enough, man. The defense, it's just not great. The numbers might look good, but you don't have a real rim protector. Gordon's athletic, but that's not really like his game per se. He's more just like an athlete. He grabs rebounds. He can contest shots, but he's not a Draymond Green defensively. He's not a Gobert rim protecting. It's just like, and we all know Jokic is not. It's going to be hard for the Nuggets in this series. I've got the Warriors stealing a game in Denver, and they will win the series in 7 games. The next series, we've got the Grizzlies and the Clippers. Man, the Western Conference is stacked. I think the Grizzlies are very hungry, and this is the type of matchup I can see Russell Westbrook at this point in his career getting exposed in, because I think Ja Morant at this point is a better version of Russell Westbrook. He's a better decision maker. He's a better finisher. He's a better shooter. I think it's really going to come down to like the matchup of those two. So I like the Grizzlies in 7 games over the Clippers. Now, if Paul George or Russell Westbrook play out of their mind, because you kind of know what you're getting Kawhi, if one of those two play out of their mind, they could take this series. But I think the Grizzlies are hungry. They're dealing with the adversity of Ja Morant. You're getting Steven Adams back. You're very well-rounded. I see the Grizzlies taking this series, especially with home court advantage in 7 games. Let's go, Memphis. In your Western Conference final matchup, we've got the Warriors and the Grizzlies. I see the Grizzlies taking this series in 7 games. They're rivals with Golden State at this point. The series last year in the playoffs went 6 games. Ja Morant got hurt. I think the Warriors still win that series, but if he never goes down, there could have been a different outcome. Maybe it goes 7 games and the Warriors still win. But the Grizzlies in this matchup will have home field. Brooks and Green don't like each other, so you don't only have the advantage of having a Draymond Green who's willing to lay somebody out, do whatever it takes. The Grizzlies also have that glue guy, and this glue guy's in his prime. I'm not ready to say he's better than Draymond, but it's not Draymond of 5 years ago where it's like you've got this A-plus level glue guy and like a B. Now it's like you got a B-plus and then like a B in Dillon Brooks. So I think Morant, like I said, is hungry. Bane can shoot. Jackson can shoot a little bit. Dillon Brooks can hit an open jumper. They're going to out-rebound Golden State. Now, could Golden State easily win the series with the amount of shooting they have? For sure. But I feel like Looney will get exposed against Memphis. I don't know if Kuminga is ready. Is Wiggins' mind like fully on basketball? He was out for... I don't know the exact amount. He was out for a prolonged period of time for family issues. So I just think it's the Grizzlies' time, man. And they want to be the villains. They want to ruin somebody's day. You know, I think they're ready to pass the torch from Golden State to Memphis. So I've got the Grizzlies holding serve at home, winning the series in 7 games. So now we are in the NBA championship. You've got the Bucks and the Grizzlies. In this matchup, I like Milwaukee in 6 games. Milwaukee's got the best player in the world. I think Jrue Holiday will be able to slow down Morant a little bit. Like, I could see Morant scoring like maybe 25 a game this series and Holiday giving you 20 while being a very smart floor general. Middleton's starting to look healthy. Him and Bane are going to go at it, or Brooks, whoever he's matched up with. Grayson Allen's been looking good. You've got Crowder off the bench who could play the 2, the 3, or the 4. Ingles might even get some minutes. You've got Carter, who's a good defender, you know, on the coming off the bench. You've got Portis off the bench. I mean, you got Lopez playing great ball at the 5. He's going to be able to see that's also a huge difference. You got Lopez at the 5. You're not. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to be able to play Adams prolonged minutes against a team like Milwaukee. You've got Lopez who can stretch the 4 at the 5, and then Portis when he comes out of the game. You've got shooters. You can't put Adams on Giannis. Giannis will eat him alive. So I guess Jackson would guard Giannis, but Adams would get exposed on both ends of the floor in that series. There's no weak point defensively for Milwaukee. I mean, you look at Holiday, great defender. Allen, not the best defender, but Connaughton's scrappy if he comes in the game. Crowder, everyone knows, is a very good defender. At the 3, you got Middleton, okay defender, not bad by any means. He's lengthy. Giannis, DPOY candidate. Brook Lopez, DPOY candidate. I just don't know if Memphis will be able to consistently score the ball against this Milwaukee team. I've got the Bucks winning with home court advantage in 6 games. And Giannis will get his second final MVP, his second championship, and he will be, start knocking on the door for a top 11, 12 player of all time. And that is it. Thank you for listening.